Hi everyone, it's Miss Celeste here. I'm your professor for ECE 602. We are now in week 3, part 11 of our course objectives. But before we get started, I just want to remind you that discussions, replies, journals, and assignment are due this week. We are pretty much past our halfway mark here, and I hope that I have answered all your questions. Please reach out if you have any more. And also, please send me your school location information just so I can approve that so you can start your practicum hours, okay? So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the ability to support families with guidance issues. Of course, discipline is always a big topic, right? We want to understand how to navigate discipline, how to support children. We want to better understand self-regulation and how that happens when it happens. And also concerns, with punishment and really what that looks like, and how we can find other ways to, meaning for parents to support their guidance and have positive outcomes, for children. But discipline is also a loaded word. So for years, ECE experts tried to remove it from the vocabulary of teachers, caregivers, parents, and really substituting the word guidance instead, which I really like that. I love the word guidance. I think that's what we need to be doing. I think that's what we are doing. For the most part, that we are guiding them through those challenges. We are guiding them through making better choices. We are guiding them on just really trying to see and manage their emotions, right? So it's all a guidance practice. And so guidance for me is a term that I use most of the time when I'm talking about specific discipline concerns and such areas. But discipline to guidance, what does that look like? The development of the inner control is one way of looking at what children need in the way of guidance. I and many others in the field of ECE come from and have taken on culture that emphasizes more independence or individuality. So it is important to internalize the control and the term control. Children want to lead, they want to make choices, they want to feel that self-confidence, but in order to kind of build that, they have to go through the process. They have to experience those feelings, those, emotions of, going through their environment as they wish, making a choice, deciding if it's a good choice or not a good choice. Why is it not a good choice? And really understanding and processing all of that, which again kind of comes at different times in different situations for each child. So there is no, one size fits all type of approach when it comes to developing that inner control. But it is important that we are supporting those options to allow them to have control so they can have those experiences. And there's many ways that you could do that within the classroom, such as giving them jobs within the classroom, choosing the jobs that they want to do, helping a friend, being a mentor, cleaning up after themselves, making choices on lessons that they want to work on, really giving them options of individual choices, one-on-one support with you, the teacher, with a peer, group discussions, small group discussions. There's so many opportunities that we can support their, choices and allowing them to make more of those as often as possible. So self-regulation. So though the common term is self-regulation, what really happens is co-regulation, which means at the beginning, the child has a partner in getting him or herself through regulating their emotions, their feelings, which that would be whoever's with them from the very beginning, such as a parent, caregiver, grandparent. But let's look at two aspects of self-regulation as it starts in infancy. So what happens in infancy affects the type of guidance needed throughout the childhood. So it's really important to talk to parents about where self-regulation is formed, when it's formed, and really what happens and lays a foundation for a lifetime. And having them understand that co-regulation is something that happens when they're, learning and growing, especially from infancy. It's important that we give them tools on how to self-regulate, how to calm themselves, how to make choices, how just to process what's happening, talking them through it, giving them words, giving them options. There's so much learning that can happen in those moments versus just being frustrated or making a bad choice. There's so many learning opportunities that are happening within a child's brain and what they're all trying to connect and understand. And that's how we need to come into that situation with great solution and support and guidance. Not necessarily focusing on what they shouldn't be doing, but focusing more on what they should be doing and helping them through it, most importantly. So concerns for punishment. Well, when punishment hurts feelings, the teachable moment is lost. And that is my biggest message here, that when any time that we are hurting feelings, which of course none of us should ever do, but even just understanding it when, say, a child hurts another child's feelings, in some moments, the moment can be gone and so focused on the feelings that are forming from the friend that possibly hurt that child, right? So sometimes in those situations, I always see, teachers kind of going directly to the child who hurt the other child. But what we have to remember is we have to think about the child whose feelings that got hurt. Sometimes we forget about them when we're so focused on the child who hurt the feeling. So just a quick reminder of just making sure that when you are walking into such situation, that you are making sure that you are supporting that child whose feelings were hurt. But also another note, children are most open to learning right after they've done something wrong or made a mistake. So that's the time to help them through what went wrong. So timing sometimes is very sensitive. So timing is everything. So making sure that you're engaging with them in that moment to better understand, why did we make that choice? Where did it go wrong? What's another choice that we can make is very, very important within that process. Another point is just making sure that parents who are trying to keep their child from hurting others, they also have to make sure that they're not hurting others, meaning how they react, how their tone of voice, how they treat others, because children are watching that. They are constantly watching everything that you're doing, seeing everything that you're doing, body language, tone. So anything can just give not a great message if it's not done in a nice, kind manner. So thank you so much. I know discipline and behavior and even the word punishment can be a bit frightening of a topic to talk about, because of course those are sensitive topics to parents, obviously to educators, and we all have different views on those. But just remember that it is important to lead with guidance, at all times, especially when you're teaching children, within your classroom, because there's so many opportunities for them to learn and grow through these challenging moments that they're going to encounter, regardless if they're in your classroom or outside your classroom. So utilize the opportunity to guide and walk with them, giving them choices, giving them words, helping them self-regulate their emotions. And the better and more time that you put into that, the better they will be prepared to conquer any challenge. So thank you so much. I'm Professor Celeste, and I will see you next time.